Hi, everyone. You're watching episode 77 of Yield TV. Hey, welcome back. It's 15 minutes since my interview with Whale Shark, and we're going to be doing a special second interview here today with the co-founder of PoolTogether, Leighton Cusack. So, Leighton, welcome to Yield TV. How are you doing?
Great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So just some quick background for everyone, and we'll sort of talk through all of this. So PoolTogether is it's a no-loss savings game. Some of us call it a no-loss lottery, but it is more properly called a no-loss savings game. And so this, Leighton, you have to remind me, when did you all start? Like summer of 2019? Is that when you launched?
Well, it's actually a good little timepiece here. It was two years ago, almost exactly to today, was when I was at Ethereum Denver, the Ethereum Denver conference, and that's when I first sort of pitched the idea for Pool Together. And I had been thinking about it for several months before that, but that was sort of the first time I pitched it in the Ethereum context.
Wow. And we'll sort of run through this history, but yeah, PoolTogether has been. So I always count it under the umbrella of DeFi, but it's a game. I mean, ultimately, it's a savings game where you buy a ticket to be able to potentially earn the weekly drawing from a pot of interest that is earned by a pool. So that's what PoolTogether, pool our money, earn interest, and that interest, which has been earned in the past, the way it started was through compound, and so. If everyone's got DAI in the pool, I mean, it's been nuts at times because you guys, you built a pool that eventually got to over 1 million DAI, and that's a sizable reward.
Yeah.
So anyways, yeah. Tell us more about it. Maybe you could even screen share a bit and just kind of walk through that like basic utility, and then we'll talk more about the new pool governance token.
Yeah. Okay, let me pull up my screen here real quick. Yeah, so what Travis, you were just saying, it's interesting how you frame that, right? Because I think people get confused about where to put this, what category to put this protocol in. I'm on Rinkeby right now. That's why it's showing me I have.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah. You don't feel like you need to click through it all. Just kind of, we can at least show people how it works.
Yeah. So, anyways, but PoolTogether it's a decentralized finance application, but it sits at this really interesting intersection of finance and games, right? And so typically what happens with financial products is you have financial products that are fun to use, but destroy all your money. So that would be like lotteries and gambling and sports betting and all that kind of stuff. And then you have financial products that are really boring, but help you save money. And that would be like index funds and just like a savings account. And so what's really unique and special about no loss prize savings is it combines those two worlds together in a way that kind of defies categories, because it's very fun to use, but you also never risk your principal. And so as DeFi Dad was mentioning, this is actually on our test environment. So these numbers aren't live, but like, for example, if you go to PoolTogether right now, there is $10 million deposited just into the DAI pool. And so there's gonna be a $20,000 prize tomorrow. So someone's gonna win $20,000, and that person who wins it didn't have to risk anything to do it. They just had to simply deposit their money. They can take their money out whenever they want to. So right now across the protocol, there's about $23 million deposited into the DAI, USDC, Uni token, and Comp token pools. And that yields right now about like $30,000 or so in prizes.
Wow. I didn't realize that. So that will be the largest. That'll be the largest drawing ever tomorrow. That's the largest prize that we
have. Yeah. There's never been one over 10,000. And so we're going straight from, it was, I think like 7,000 was the largest, and tomorrow is going to be over 20.
And can you remind me again, sorry, what fuels that then? Is that just coincidence that you guys had the token go live, the pool governance token, or is that due to the fact that pool is being awarded in that pool as well?
No, it's not pool being awarded. It's just that the distribution of the governance token has led to a lot more capital being put into the prize pools.
Oh, so, wow. Oh, so this is all over the last 24 hours. Like how?
Yeah. I mean,
was it before? How big was it on Tuesday? Like, do you remember?
Tuesday it was at like 1.9 million, and today it's like 10. So it's grown about 500% in 48 hours.
I think I saw, yeah, you guys tweeted that. I didn't realize that's how much it grew. Oh my God, that's
and
crazy.
that's just the DAI pool. The USDC pool I think has like 7 million. The Uniswap pool has like 5 million of Uniswap in it.
Wow,
so
that's cool. Wow, cool.
Yeah.
Congrats on that. That's crazy. I mean, we were all like celebrating when you first hit 1 million DAI.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's funny. It's funny. It's actually about a year ago right now. There was the first ever PoolTogether prize that was over $1,000. And at the time, that was a really big deal. I mean,
yes.
Let's rewind to a year ago, ETH was at $180, and it was a very, very different community at that time, very different numbers. And so it's pretty crazy to see how much things have changed. But it's fun to talk about the numbers, but I do think it's important to bring it back to the whole heart of the project. And the heart of the project is to empower people to have healthy financial habits and actually save money by combining the best parts of psychology with the best parts of finance, and having a really fun way, no loss way to save your money.
Leighton, what about one of the common criticisms that I've heard with PoolTogether is they'll say, "Oh, sure, you don't lose your principal," but a lot of DeFi natives will say, "Well, I could be earning elsewhere." That's changed, right? You can now earn interest through PoolTogether.
Yeah. Well, so yes, yes. No.
It's a convoluted answer to this. So yeah, if you can lay out the specifics of it.
Well, I think there's a few answers to it. I think the first answer is that's always true, right? And so I think what people like to point out is there's an opportunity cost, right? And so anytime, like if you're depositing into Compound and say that YEarn has a 10% higher yield, you're technically losing 10%, right? And if you're depositing into PoolTogether and Compound has a 10% higher yield, you're technically losing. You could say you're losing 10%. That's the opportunity cost of using anything. So, I think it's a false way to look at it. Opportunity cost generally is not considered loss. It's just an opportunity that you're foregoing. But yeah, you're right though that what has been built into the product now is the ability to actually also distribute like a fixed interest rate to depositors. That's not actually currently turned on, but what depositors are getting right now, all depositors are anyone who deposits any prize pool is automatically earning receiving the pool token. And we wanted to set that up because we really want users to own the protocol. And that's the most effective way to do it. It's very, very simple. There's no you don't have to lock any LP tokens. There's none of this complexity. You just have to deposit and you'll automatically start becoming a owner and governor of the protocol.
And remind me, how much pool is awarded each day, or however you want to break it down? What's the distribution?
Yeah, so right now it's 5,000 pool tokens a day are being distributed, and 90% of that is going to the USDC and DAI pools, the stablecoin pools, because again, this is about savings, and so we're trying to incentivize the stablecoin pools primarily.
That's really smart.
And then 2.5 and 2.5 are going to the uni and the comp depositors.
Got it. And then how long will this last again? Or how long before it's all distributed?
Right. So this is where it gets really fun to talk about, because it's set up initially for 14 weeks. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But complete control of this has been given to the pool token holders. And the people who hold the pool token are the people who have used the protocol. So, as of yesterday, 15% of all the pool tokens were distributed to everyone who's ever used the protocol, excluding the people who worked on it, like myself. We actually blacklisted our addresses, so we didn't get any pool, but everyone else did. And
that is impressive. That's which I can understand why, because there is like a founding team allocation, right? Like, so you in other words, you prevented like a double dipping
situation. Yeah.
So yep, that's why I like you guys, always operating with the highest integrity. This is why I'm friends with Leighton, because he operates with a good conscience. So,
but one thing I am pretty proud of about it is 15% is what was allocated to all the early users. And basically, I think 12.5% is what was allocated to all of the early core team and advisors. And so more tokens have been given to the people who use the protocol than to the core team. So I'm pretty proud of that. I think that is a good standard to set. of user ownership.
Whatever like weighting you all use, like, I have, so, as we talk about this, like, take what I say with a grain of salt. Like, I am holding the pool governance token. I earned it as an early user. But I want to clarify, like, I will say at least like what I earned, I was very pleasantly surprised by, because
Right.
I had less than 100 tickets. So, I don't know if people like assume just because I talk about DeFi all the time, if I'm like a whale, trying this stuff. I tend to just play with a lot of different applications and play with small amounts of money, or relatively small amounts of money for me. So, yeah, I mean, I was like, whoa, like, okay, so, I mean, one truly was rewarded,
Right.
voice in the protocol just for participating for a longer period, not just the person that, can dump $10,000 into the pool.
Right. Yeah, it was a very egalitarian distribution, and it was heavily weighted towards small holders. Again, because that's sort of the heart of the protocol. And yeah, and what was I saying that? Yeah, and what we really wanted when we were thinking about this is we wanted people to have enough of the governance tokens that they felt like they would have a meaningful say. That it's like, whoa, I have this many, like I could actually make a difference in this protocol. And that's really what we're targeting. So,
yeah. Wait, so Leighton, have you heard, we're going to talk more about the utility of the governance token, and again, what is next in terms of how you participate in that. But I mean, like, you have reached to a lot of different communities across the globe. So that's one of the things that I've always been fascinated by with PoolTogether. It's one of the reasons I've always thought that PoolTogether is one of the sneakier Trojan horses to getting people to use DeFi crypto assets. Have you guys gotten any stories back already of, like, I mean, these airdrops like really do some life-changing work for some people. I just was curious if you had anyone in Discord say, like, thank you so much, like I could buy a piece of property or something, or buy a home.
Right.
Yeah
no, we did have someone in our Discord yesterday who said, like, hey, I had to go to the ER last week, I had a bunch of unexpected bills, nice. I'll say this is a governance token, and that we're not, there is no, we're not trying to promote.
We're not promoting it, but it's a truth. Yeah. Like, people does have value when people can buy and sell it. So I'm saying that, like, that's the truth of a permissionless world with DEXs, but yes, we'll talk strictly about
that was cool. Yeah, and I actually got another like LinkedIn message from someone who was like, "Hey, like this like helped me. My mom's car broke down and like paid for that or whatever." So it's definitely nice to hear those stories.
That is, heartwarming stuff. Okay, so back to the pure utility of this. So, like, what's next? You all have a governance module that you've been working on, and is that anything we could walk through live?
Yes. So this is what we're walking through live for the first time. This is kind of the unveiling, something that I'm super excited about, and I hope is a big contribution, not just to PoolTogether, but to the DeFi ecosystem. So just to set the stage, we're talking a lot about governance. The pool token controls governance, but it can be very abstract and very hard to like grasp, like, because technically speaking, you can say, yes, everything is now in control of the token holders. But people are like, but where do I go to like actually make a change, or how does that work? And so that's what we're doing here, which is will be going live in hopefully in a day or two. So I don't know, are you able to see my screen right now, Travis?
Oh yeah, let me add that here. Here you go. Yep, there we go. Go right ahead.
So what we've done is create this really awesome proposal interface where anyone can come, and even if they have no technical skills, can create a lot of proposals for governance. So I'm going to demo this. So the first step here is you select a contract. So for example, I could go down, we were just talking about the DAI prize pool, right? And how it has a $20,000 weekly prize. So I could go down here and pick DAI prize pool, and then I select a function. And I can go down and I can say, hey, the DAI prize pool now has $20,000 weekly prize. I think we should have more weekly winners. And so I'm going to go to, where is it? I was talking. No, wasn't paying attention. Actually, you know what? This might be in the prize strategy. That's actually the prize.
You're really trying to like make this more user friendly and
more user friendly. Yeah. So die prize strategy. This is what actually controls the weekly winners. So I just go set number of winners, and I say, hey, you know what? I think it should have 10 weekly winners. And then I go down and I title this 10 weekly winners, and I write why I think it should happen, and I propose it to governance. Wow. And it's that simple. So anyone can do it. And so that's just one example, right? You can change the number of winners. You can change the frequency of the prizes. You could launch new prize pools. You could, I wanted to touch on this too, DeFi Dad, because you were talking about the pool token distribution, right? Mm-hmm. So someone could come and say, hey, you know what? I think we're actually distributing this the DAI pool too fast. So I think we should actually change this drip rate here and set it so it actually distributes over 26 weeks instead of 14 weeks. Or they could do similar things to any of the other prize pools. So this is super, super powerful. And so we're really excited. I think this is a place where we've benefited so much from like what Compound's done, what Uniswap's done in terms of taking their contracts. Yeah. But I think this is something this is open source. We're giving to the DeFi community and hopefully really empowering people to understand and actually govern their protocols better.
Leighton, where do you all draw your inspiration from in terms of the work you do on the UX, UI? Because you have... So I met you in 2019, and then you came to, funny story actually with that. Yeah. It was Ethereal Tel Aviv, and we were, Joe Lubin generously gave us some part of a budget that we were able to basically sponsor speakers and fly out, because Tel Aviv is really, far away for folks that don't live in Tel Aviv. And you were one of them, but you had just, you guys were basically rolling. Well, no, you were live already. So, this was past Ethereum Denver. And just, even at that time, I was kind of like blown away by like, this is so beautiful. The UI for PoolTogether. But then it has evolved so much since then. I mean, really every quarter there's major changes that you all have made. So anyways, I'm done bowing down, but where do you get your inspiration from for design?
Well, I mean, I think, most of the credit, obviously all the credit goes to like Lily, who's our designer, who's really good. Wow. And she came on this summer. And so she's responsible for what you see. And then Chuck and Dylan, who are the front end engineers who build all this. But I would say as a team, though, we definitely strived to build a protocol, which is now in the hands of the community. Wow. To build a protocol that is very simple. It is, and I think this gets to, no loss price savings is at its heart a consumer financial primitive, right? Mm-hmm. It's not like institutions do it. So it's a little bit different from a lot of other DeFi stuff. And it's not options trading. It's not like these heavy technical financial products. It's consumer. And with that, we wanted to have a product that matches that and appeals to a consumer and enables a consumer to become an owner and become a governor of the protocol itself. So that's sort of I think why we focus so much on that.
Really cool. Actually, there's a few other things just in relation to the rollout of the governance token. Since we've covered the governance module there too. Actually, I probably should just quickly share my screen. Let me just make sure I've got the. Yep. Okay. Hold on just a sec. Here, let me show you mine. Boop. Oh, hold on. Make sure I find the right screen here. Don't want to share the wrong one. Here we go.
Risky. Wait, so I stop my share probably?
Oh no, you're all good. Here we go. Okay, so
let's talk about this.
Yeah, so if you have participated in PoolTogether V1, V2, or V3 anytime before January 14th, you don't need to even go to PoolTogether and start rifling through wallets. If you already use Zapper, just click on the PoolTogether tab. This one I've already claimed my tokens for this, so they're now in my wallet here. But yeah, your claim. Oops, here we go. POOL.
Yep.
And so, anyways, you can claim those, and you'll see that they are unclaimed if you go here to the PoolTogether platform option. So that's there.
We should also talk about the Zap.
Let's talk about the Zaps a sec. Yeah, that's a whole nother one. So, a reminder, everyone, a Zap is essentially a DeFi shortcut. It often refers to the ability to add liquidity to some DeFi opportunity through Zapper. And so you go to Zapper.fi/investor, click on the pool tab here, and then you can go below and just search Pool Together. And all 4 pools are here now. So you can see the liquidity in each. And this just, it's another gateway into Pool Together. There's no fee on this on our side, at least. And you could start with Ether. You can start with one of many different more liquid tokens, like even like wrapped Bitcoin. So if I put in something like this, it'll give me a breakdown of, will actually auto swap the Zap itself is a number of transactions. So we're swapping wrapped Bitcoin for DAI and then exchanging the DAI for these Pool Together tickets. So
right. Yeah. So this is a really good way. And this is actually, I just want to touch on this too, because I think this is really important. One thing that's really awesome about this, right, is this is a way that you can join the Pool Together protocol without ever needing to go to pooltogether.com. Right. And I think early on, it's a very, very important separation. Pool Together, the protocol, is on Ethereum, and there's lots of different interfaces into it. So even if pooltogether.com went away tomorrow, you would still be able to use the protocol. You could access it through Zapper, you could use Etherscan, you could use other integrations that are coming. And I just think that's a really important, because now that the protocol is fully decentralized, and pooltogether.com, ultimately it does reflect what's on the protocol, but it's not the only way to access the protocol.
That's right. That's it. And that is, it's something that I didn't expect that we would get to this point so quickly, but we've now, we're seeing protocols like Pool Together that are actually flourishing, that have multiple gateways. Right. It's there's Argent. Argent was one of the early ones to create another gateway to interacting with the protocol. So these are, again, for folks that are new, those that are like, pros at DeFi, you already know this, but the protocol is, it's the house that we all play in and do XYZ in terms of, in this case, playing Pool Together the game. But in order to enter that, there can be multiple doorways, and Zapper's one, pooltogether.com is one. So
right. And so obviously, like what I think will be happening if we fast forward 3-5 years from now is you'll be using the Pool Together protocol, but you'll be doing it in like the Square Cash app or the Venmo app or the PayPal app, etc. And you might not ever know it's called the Pool Together protocol, but in the same way, you'll be using that interface, and on the back end, it'll be interacting with the protocol.
That's it. Yeah. And the grander mission of all of this, which I think you've been one of the best at communicating this, is it's about creating a truly censorship-resistant protocol. And it's about creating something that can outlive all of us. Absolutely. That lives on the Ethereum virtual machine. So, anyways, Leighton, anything else here that you wanted to call out on the Zap side?
No, I'm just excited. I think the only thing to just make it explicit, one nice thing about the Zap is if you go and you don't have USDC or DAI, you can just go to the Zap and do like ETH, and it just does it all for you. It swaps it to USDC and deposits it all in one. Exactly. Obviously, gas fees are going to be really, really high on that, but it is convenient.
Yeah. Forewarning, it does. We're still living in high gas days here today. I think it's been above even 200 Gwei. So one recommendation on that is waiting for lower gas prices. But if one even can wait like 12 hours, I've been noticing with gasnow.org around like 11 p.m. Eastern to about 6 a.m. Eastern the next day, those hours are seeing lower gas prices. Hopefully that doesn't screw it up now that I've told everyone that. But yeah, you can see here like USDC. Normally I'd have to go acquire some USDC first, but in this case I could start with Ether or let's say another common one is USDT, something like Tether. So this just allows me to skip a step, but it doesn't mean, reminder, it doesn't mean that you're not paying some added gas then.
Right.
What we're doing at Zapper is we're we're allowing you to start with an unrelated token. We're swapping it for you to save you time and effort. But in rare cases, we will save you some gas. We do a lot of work to try to make these as gas efficient as possible, but there are limitations. So let's see here. So Leighton, we covered the utility of the pool governance token, how one can interact with the new governance module that goes live in a day or two. We talked about Zaps and tracking it on Zapper. What's the next milestone to look to? Is it the governance module going live, or what else could I be doing if I'm a part of the PoolTogether community and I'm in your Discord?
Well, that's a great question. I think the answer is really interesting, because I think the next milestone is really going to be defined by the community. And so I think if you're in the Discord, you should be asking yourself that question. You should not be looking to me to answer that question. And there's a lot, right? We've built this infrastructure and we've given it away. And there's a lot that's possible. You can launch new prize pools. You could set up you can control the distribution of pool. You could give out grants. You could set up a grant program. You could do all sorts of things. And I think that people haven't largely fully understood that concept and really implemented it. And I hope that that will happen with time. But yeah, I think, I would really say now that control is in the hands of the community, we really are looking for people in the community to step up and answer that question, and I'll be there to support them.
Yeah. You all are very responsive in Discord. I actually, yesterday, it got announced. I learned that too. We were kind of joking about this beforehand, that like I've been fairly engaged with PoolTogether, and even I had no idea. I didn't foresee a governance token. So man, I hopped in, and I think within like a few seconds, I was able to get an answer of like, why am I not able to claim, or did something wrong here?
Lag time between when it was announced and when the claiming started, because we had the CoinDesk article that went out, and so
yeah.
I would recommend, if anyone's doing that in the future, try to have no lag time.
Yeah. Is that Brady Dale?
Brady Dale, yeah.
Yeah, he's great too. If anyone's working on a DeFi project and you're looking for a contact at CoinDesk, Brady has been on the bleeding edge of DeFi for at least the last 12 months. He's really dug in and been an awesome champion to communicate all this. Okay, so Leighton, anything else we should cover? I think we got through nearly all the different aspects of the new pool token.
Yeah, no, I think I just no, it's just the only other thing to cover. Just like, it's kind of just what I said. I definitely want to give an exhortation. If you want the pool token, just deposit into the prize pool to automatically start receiving it.
That's right.
I did want to. That's actually one last thing. I did want to share. Let me share this real quick. I'll share my screen again.
Oh, please. Yeah, go ahead.
Sybil. So one thing, obviously, is people might say like, well, I can't make proposals because I only have 100 pool tokens. So Sybil.org is a tool here with PoolTogether where you can announce yourself as a delegate for PoolTogether's governance, and then other people can delegate their votes to you. So with PoolTogether governance, we did something very aggressive, which is that we set the threshold to submit proposals to be very low. You only have to have 10,000 pool to submit a proposal, but you personally don't have to have 10,000 pool. You just have to have it delegated to you. So for example, this person, Flynn Jam, his name's Brian Flynn. He already has, this has only been 24 hours. He already has over 10,000 votes delegated to him, which means he can now go and make proposals to governance that get voted on. And so I just want to make sure people know that delegation exists. And so if you don't plan to participate in governance, delegate your votes. And if you do plan, announce yourself as a delegate and start receiving votes.
That's really cool. And actually, I just did mine. So I've got one caution on this for anyone is to announce yourself as a delegate. It means I literally just did it here in like a matter of like seconds. What you're doing is you're linking your Twitter account to a wallet address. So like think very carefully about that. If that is not a wallet address that you would want others to see, if that wallet interacts with other wallets of yours that you want others to know about, you shouldn't. Otherwise, just go create a fresh address and and you can attach it. So that's something we've all gotten into, like the ENS handles, and a lot of people like it, they learn the hard way, like, oh shoot, I just doxed my wallet or wallets. So anyways, but yeah, really cool. That was super easy and didn't cost me any gas, which is the best thing in the world. So
yeah, awesome. Well, I'm glad you did that. Thank you. And we'll definitely, well, I don't have any pool yet, but hopefully I will get some and I can delegate it to you.
That's Leighton, is there, I mean, gosh, I would hope, I want to see you guys as the core team having that voting power. What is the length of the vesting plan? I'm just wondering, like, how long is that? Because this is something I know I've talked with other teams about, and despite there's been blowback on certain teams for having really, like, short vesting plans, and people worry about that power then being centralized with them. There's the opposite concern. I'm like, in the world right now knows or cares more about PoolTogether than your core team. So anyways, how long is that?
Well, so all employees and investors who received any pool tokens have a 1-year full, like 100% lock. That does not necessarily, though, preclude delegation of those votes or direct.
Nice. Okay. Yeah.
It doesn't preclude that, but our goal certainly would not be to participate, because we have had such a large role in the formation of the protocol that it's important for us to step back to let other voices emerge. And certainly that's going to create, like, maybe a little bit of a lull, but it is really important that that we can step back. And my hope would be 6 months from now, you could have someone else on your show with the name PoolTogether underneath their name and representing the protocol. And it doesn't need to be me.
I think many people underestimate the marketing impact of these sorts of decisions. And so in this case, like, I think when you continue to see such intentional, sort of like selfless, decisions put forward for the good of the community, I think it comes back tenfold, in terms of participation and people wanting to be involved. Just like there's been, not calling anyone out, but there's been the opposite of that with some communities. And that's where you see a real blowback or like a rejection of, I don't want to be a part of this just because I think it's getting off on the wrong foot.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you saying that. And I hope that's true. We definitely tried to push the boundary of both in terms of, like, the distribution of pool tokens, again, like giving more to the community than to the core team, active, but also even in terms of setting the parameters of the governance system, meaning setting, like, a very low threshold to make proposals. We really tried to do this in a way that truly empowered the community and put them on equal, if not better, footing than the people who sort of started working on the protocol.
Absolutely, yeah. And if anyone's ever wondering too, these aren't like framed questions in advance. A lot of this conversation especially has just been me learning a lot. I really knew nothing more than there's a governance token and you can claim it and you can earn more of it. So thanks so much, Leighton. This is great. I got to learn a lot today here about what's the future. And I actually personally am wanting to get more involved just because it's always been a fun use case to me. And I continue to think more people across the globe can get involved in this, especially we can talk about this in the future, but I would imagine PoolTogether will move to a layer 2 solution eventually, and that'll allow even more to use it then because we get past the high gas prices.
Definitely need to deal with gas prices and
yeah, little brutal right now. But hey, reminder everyone, then you can follow Leighton here at his Twitter handle, and then also PoolTogether, and then beyond that, make sure you learn more at PoolTogether.com. That's where you can actually participate. But you can also go to Zapper.fi /invest. So you can, if you go there, that is the pool tab, which is where you can, coincidentally, we call it the pool tab. There's more than just PoolTogether zaps, but yeah, you can actually start playing PoolTogether by putting in money through those different options there. So otherwise, everyone, reminder, just subscribe at tv.zapper.fi. This is it for today. I don't think we'll be we did 2 interviews and we won't be doing any more interviews. So this will be it for the week. But Leighton, congrats on the launch. And I'm going to hit the outro video, which will take us back to a green room. So if you have any questions there. But thanks so much for your time, man.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. All right, everyone. Hey, thanks so much for tuning in. And we will see you Monday for DeFi class. I'm not sure of the topic yet, but if you have any suggestions, feel free to tweet them at us or direct message me on Twitter. So otherwise, bye, everyone. Take care.
Yeah.